sure many of you have already heard about colostrum, but for those of you who don't know what colostrum is the first breast milk that you produce when you are pregnant and following the birth. It is like a thick consistency and is yellow to white fluid-like. You may start to produce colostrum whilst you are pregnant, and you will also produce colostrum in the first few days following the birth until your milk supply comes in on around day 3 to 4 postnatally. But be mindful that this can happen at different times for everyone. You may consider to express colostrum antenatally, which is a very useful skill to have and will prepare you for following the birth. And it is beneficial to keep this colostrum to give to your baby following the birth, but it's important to be aware that you mustn't start expressing antenatally until after 37 weeks of pregnancy, because if you stimulate your breast before this, there's the risk that you'll start contracting and go into premature labour. You may also find that you leak colostrum, which is really normal, and some women notice this as early as the second trimester. So you could use 1 ml syringes to harvest this and keep it for following the birth. But if you do notice that you're leaking quite a lot, you could always wear disposable or washable breast pads within your bra, and this can help you to be a bit more comfortable throughout the day. For the 1 ml syringes, you can ask the midwife who's caring for you in the community for these syringes, and they're able to provide these. But yeah, this is something that might be worth looking into. So after you've had your baby, in the first few days after they're born, it is really normal to produce small amounts of colostrum because it is very rich and high in protein, and it also provides antibodies which strengthen your baby's immune system. So they only need small amounts of this until your milk supply comes in on usually day 3 to 4 postnatally, as I've already mentioned, but this can be different for everyone. As I mentioned in my previous video, skin to skin is extremely important and should be initiated straight away with the mum following the birth, so then the baby is able to breastfeed within the first hour of life. Breast milk is safe. It is perfectly designed for your baby. It is available at any time that they need at the perfect temperature, and it also protects them from infections and diseases. And it also carries benefits for yourself, as it also lowers your risk of breast and ovarian cancer. And it also helps with bonding between you and your baby. So even if you bottle feed, it may be beneficial to maybe think about giving colostrum in the first few days after the baby's born, so you and your baby can benefit from all of these benefits. Following the birth, the midwife will be able to support you with breastfeeding if this is something that you want to do, and she'll be able to support you with the positioning and attachment of baby to latch baby onto the breast. It's important to feed your baby regularly, so around 8 to 12 times or more in a 24-hour period, which is around every 2 to 3 hours, and you shouldn't allow your baby to go longer than 4 hours without a feed. But it's important to also be aware that the breastfeed should vary in length from around 10 minutes to 40 minutes, but your baby will let you know when they've had enough, as they will naturally come off the breast themselves. It's also important to be aware of responsive feeding, which is essentially responding to your baby's feeding cues and also your desire to feed your baby, and this can be at any time during the day or night. When your baby wants milk, they may show signs of wanting a feed, which can include opening their mouth, turning their head, sucking their fingers. Also, they can start getting restless and making sounds. But once they start crying, it can be very difficult to latch them on. So it's important to notice these early signs so you can start feeding them when they show these early cues. So that brings me to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you could please subscribe, it really means a lot. And I am planning to do more videos on breastfeeding and bottle feeding going forward. So if you do want me to cover anything specifically, then please just let me know.